We are on the Carnival Jubilee today and witnessed a rescue at sea. Ahoy travelers, it's Amy here with some breaking news right from the Carnival Jubilee. This morning as I was walking around getting some footage for a future video, an announcement came up over the speakers saying, "Man overboard."
Men overboard, big anchor aft, starboard side. Once again, men overboard.
Now I was already on deck 8, the promenade deck, so I headed to the aft of the ship and outside to see what was going on. It quickly became apparent that the ship was turning. Water was running out of the pools, and crew, along with guests, of course, were gathering at the aft area of the ship. Nothing could be seen in the water. There was no life buoy, nothing. We were close to Cancun, as the Jubilee had actually just dropped off 2 passengers earlier in the morning due to a medical issue. As the ship continued to turn, the cruise director came on and said that it was not a man overboard, but instead that a canoe had been located and we were going to be turning around, stopping, and see if they needed assistance. This was way far off the coast for such a small vessel, and canoe may be a really nice term for what appeared to be a big kayak. I mean, it was kind of a cross between a canoe and a kayak. Not something you want to be that far out in the ocean on, for sure. I was able to make my way port side and kind of midship, so it wasn't over in anybody's way. And some guests above on their balconies actually spotted this vessel first. They were high enough up that they could actually see it because it was still pretty far away from our ship. The 2 men in the canoe were lucky that they were in one of the most visible canoes I have ever seen. In the Ozarks, you would not see a canoe made of fluorescent orange and yellow. These guys at least were in something that was high vis, for sure. As we got closer, you could see the men were waving their arms. One of them was blowing a whistle that every once in a while you could hear as the wind blew the right way, so they were obviously in distress and wanting assistance. I'm not exactly sure why we didn't launch a lifeboat to go pick them up, but the men on the canoe made their way towards the Jubilee, paddling. It is possible that by the time the ship got stopped and with the men able to paddle towards the ship, the captain made the decision not to take the time to actually lower a life raft. I don't know how long it would take to lower one, but it would take some time. And this process really actually went by fairly quickly. I just don't know why that decision was made, but everything worked out fine. The waves were very large for such a very small craft, and it appeared that only one of the men had a life vest on, so this was a dangerous situation for them. The men were brought on board and taken to see if they needed medical treatment until the Coast Guard could come and get them. I'm so thankful that this turned out to have such a happy ending. We were in the right place at the right time, and that was basically because of that medical emergency that we had earlier. We would not have been where we were and as close to shore as we were in order to have seen these 2 men who were in distress. No other ships around, and I don't know that they had any way of contacting anybody. This is a very small vessel. It's not like they have the emergency beacons and responders. I don't know that you could get a cell service that far out. They had obviously drifted very far away from shore. Have you ever been on a ship where there was a man overboard or rescue at sea? This was my first time experiencing anything like this, and it was actually amazing to see how the crew responded. We had multiple officers and other crew that were already at after the ship. In just that few minutes it took me to get from inside kind of towards forward mid to get back, which did not take me very long at all. And there was already multiple officers and other crew members out there searching the waters for this man, what they thought at the time was a man overboard. I saw security rushing through. Now, I don't know if they were because they were trying to clear out all the guests, because more and more guests were getting on over there on the aft of the ship or not, but security was just running through the ship at one point as I was going back inside. I decided to make my way port side since we had turned and get closer towards midship so I was out of the way. And it actually ended up being a good spot to see what was going on. Well, I'm glad that this was a rescue and not a man overboard. I was just praying for this person that we didn't know, and then whenever it came to finding out, and you could see that we had these two men that obviously needed help, I was just so thankful that we had gone in a different direction with this, and we were rescuing someone and not, witnessing, because there was nobody out there. Like, you're like, man overboard, where is he? There's no life buoy, there's nothing. So I'm very thankful that, this turned out as it did. Well, are you ready for more information on cruising? If so, check out this video and then come back for more information designed to help you have an amazing cruise. Have a blessed week, everyone.